Marcel Poldnick's specialty is art, not parking. But as director of the Milwaukee Art Museum, she now has to dig into the nuts and bolts of infrastructure on an expanded campus that now includes an added 1,204 parking spaces. Last month, the museum completed its long-gestating deal with Milwaukee County to take over the 9-acre O'Donnell Park and its multi-level garage, as well as ownership of museum buildings on the Lake Michigan shoreline. On the day the deal was done, the museum went from tenant to landlord. Poldnick and others at the museum were filled with the mix of excitement and anxiety of new homeowners. "It's a humbling and nerve-wracking experience to a certain extent," she said, adding that in any real estate deal you only know a certain percentage of what you're getting yourself into, at any moment in time. Buildings, particularly buildings of this magnitude, have a life of their own much as people do, she said. "We have every reason to believe that we understand the situation perfectly. We understand what we're getting ourselves into, what we're inheriting, what shape it's in, what needs to be done." The museum already had one garage, the spiffy, 98-space facility beneath the soaring Santiago Calatrava-designed quadar-axis pavilion. Nobody would call the O'Donnell Park garage spiffy. One entrance is closed, lighting is dim, signage is confusing, rust is evident, parking equipment is dated. It could all use a good cleaning, too. Over the next year, the museum plans nearly $3 million in upgrades to the O'Donnell Park property, including the garage, park, and Miller Park Pavilion. Within 5 to 7 years the museum will have to deal with a membrane beneath the O'Donnell Park soil and the garage. The project could cost several $1,000,000. But the garage, now managed by Interstate Parking for the museum, was key to the deal. Donald W. Layden Jr., president of the Milwaukee Art Museum Board, said, "It's strategically important to the museum for us to make sure the experience of our visitors starts when they park in a parking garage and continues when they come across to the museum itself." The museum anticipates parking revenue of $3 million annually, providing an endowment to help with the preservation of facilities, Layden said. To acquire O'Donnell Park, the museum created a separate entity, Museum Center Park. Property tax will be paid on the portion of the parking structure not used for nonprofit purposes, Layden said. In a new world order, the county is not able to fulfill its obligations to maintain many of the facilities they have historically had an obligation to maintain, Layden said. It was incumbent on the museum and county to find a new partnership and allow us to control our destiny and for the county to get relief from the obligation it had to do the maintenance. It took 18 months to iron out the final details of the complex non-cash transaction. Officials for the County Art Museum and War Memorial Center see the deal as a win for everyone. They've worked out an arrangement in which the three parties own pieces. The county gets out from under long-term obligations, saving an estimated $28 million in today's dollars in deferred maintenance and future costs.